The 2025 Major League Baseball Hall of Fame class review. The three players that we're considering are Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner. Now, Ichiro is clearly the best player entering the Hall. In 2001, it was one of the greatest rookie seasons ever. It was so much fun watching Ichiro. It was a rookie season where he batted .350. He stole 56 bases. He was the MVP as a rookie. And this was the 116-win Seattle Mariners team. Still the team with the most wins ever in a single season. And they did not make it to the World Series, but they were a memorable team. They were a great team. And they ended up losing to the New York Yankees, Joe Torre's New York Yankees. But what a career for Ichiro. He had 10 straight seasons to begin his career with at least a 300 or better average. Keep this in mind. He had over 3,000 hits and over 500 stolen bases, and he did not come to America and start his career until his age 27 season. I mean, he turned 28 at the end of the season. He's one of the greatest leadoff hitters of all time. He won the batting title as a rookie. He was an MVP as a rookie. He has the most hits in a single season, 262, which still stands as a record. He won 10 Gold Gloves. He knew how to put the bat on the ball. He knew how to make contact. He knew how to use his speed. Premier leadoff hitter speed. Wasn't trying to do too much. Wasn't up there trying to hit home runs. I miss real leadoff, man. I mean, these were the days in the 90s when you had leadoff hitters and guys who were either trying to get on with a single, take a walk, and then steal a base. Kenny Lofton, Craig Biggio, Marquise Grissom, Devon White. I mean, I could think of a lot of leadoff guys. That isn't the time now, but Ichiro was better than all of them. I even remember back in those times, Saturday mornings, we had our baseball games in the summer. In Fox Saturday Baseball, the 1 p.m. game was a Mariners game up at Safeco Field. And my friend came over, and it was coming up to lunchtime, and he was going to go back home. But he said to his mom, "Oh, I just got to see Ichiro at bat." I mean, that's what Major League Baseball wants. But you had that with Ichiro. People, and even kids, wanted to stay just to see him hit, because we had not seen anything like Ichiro. We're talking about how good of a batter he was. But as a fielder, he had 10 Gold Gloves. He could play. He primarily played right field, but he could play center field. And he had an excellent throwing arm. And that's the thing. You cannot judge a player's arm by their size. Small guy like that had a great arm. So clearly the best player in this Hall of Fame class. And then the other two that I'm going to concentrate on are CC Sabathia and Billy Wagner. Now, I think when you get to any of the Hall of Fames, you just say a name and you should be able to say Hall of Famer, yes or no. Is that a Hall of Famer? You shouldn't even have to really debate it very much. It's just kind of the name test. When I say Ichiro, there's no hesitation, Hall of Famer. CC Sabathia, I'd say no. To me, he's in the Hall of very good. Long career. A very good career. He piled up many wins over his long career. For a period of time, he was a very dominant pitcher. He was, a workhorse pitcher. He jumped around a lot. I mean, he was on the Cleveland Indians. Eventually, he had the most success getting to the World Series and winning a World Series as a New York Yankee. And I feel that is what helped him get over the top, as being, a Yankee for part of his career and actually winning a World Series as a New York Yankee. But when you just look at the numbers, yes, no question, some very good years. You see the All-Star appearances, you see the win totals, but a 3.74 ERA for his career, to me, that is just not Hall of Fame caliber there. Oh, well over a 3.5 ERA. That's high. And yeah, there's more that goes into judging a player than just their earned run average. But to me, just that just stands out. I mean, a few years back, Mike Mussina got in the Hall of Fame, and I really like Mike Mussina. Grew up watching Mike Mussina, and on those Yankees teams, Orioles, Yankees. When I heard he went in the Hall of Fame, I said, same thing. Very good pitcher. Hall of Famer? No. Not a Hall of Fame pitcher. So that's one I disagree with. And then the other that we're looking at is Billy Wagner. And when I say Billy Wagner, I say yes. Because there were three great closers during my childhood. Number one, well, we all know who that is, Mariano Rivera, New York Yankees. Best regular season closer all time, best playoff closer of all time. And you knew what his pitch was. It was the cutter. Then there's Trevor Hoffman. His specialty pitch, the changeup. Neither of them were pitchers that would just blow you away. But Billy Wagner was. He was about velocity. And if you look up what his velocity was, I just did a search on this online and said, well, his average velocity in his career, what he was known to do was touch a certain amount. Well, Wagner, in his prime, high 90s, and he could touch 100 and 101. Same thing. I remember watching Billy Wagner when I was very young. It was just one of those Saturday afternoon games. And he was hitting 101. Yeah, 101. This is before Chapman. Before you had Chapman, you had Billy Wagner. And he wasn't just velocity. Even when he lost some zip on the fastball, he was still very good. I mean, 422. I mean, 422 career saves and a 2.31 ERA. I mean, those are amazing numbers. And when I say velocity, we're talking about left-handed pitchers here from the left-hand side. That's why I brought Chapman up. He was one of the hardest throwing closers ever, especially from a past era. And coming from the left side, yeah, for me, Billy Wagner's definitely a Hall of Fame player.